business growth. So, technology really has made our life easier. And Amanda, even talked about how it can reach so far and do so many things. And one of the things I see in business is it helps us reach a bigger group of people, especially like email in Web 1.0 or point 1, point oh 0.01, or however we say that, 1.0. Email allowed us to market and reach a whole bunch of people with a click of a button. And what I'm going to talk about, the tech hack for me, is going back to Web 0.0. And that was back in the good old days, face to face, handshake, and using technology to really amplify that. And one of the examples I talk about is in the old westerns, like back in the 1400s or whenever. Actually, oh man, I forgot which book it was. I haven't referenced this story in so long. He talks about the covered wagon rolls into a little western town, and the guy rolls in, he goes to the end of the street, and he starts setting up his little shop, and he's putting all these little bottles out at his covered wagon there. And everybody in town's like poking their head out looking out, who the heck is that stranger rolling into town, and finally somebody gets enough courage to walk over there and see what's going on. And so he shows them, oh, it's an elixir, that pain you get in your head every once in a while, headache. Just take a little swig of this and it goes away. So this person tries it, and then they go out and their headache goes away, and they're like, oh man, that guy's got stuff down there. It makes your headaches go away. So a couple more people come, the word starts spreading. And then next thing you know, he cleans the town out and packs up and goes to the next town. Today, just kind of putting into perspective what this Web 3. Well, really 1.0, 2.0, and even 3.0, if you have a headache today and you run down to the local, CVS, Walgreens, whatever it is, whatever your shop is for pharmacy, and you go into the aspirin aisle, what do you see? Mind explosion overload. There's about 1,000 kinds of aspirin. You can take one that'll help you sleep. You can take one that'll keep you awake. You can take one that'll keep you asleep and wake you up at the same time. I mean, there's millions of different kinds. So a lot of times when you have a migraine, your friend's going to say, oh my gosh, I use extra strength this or extra strength that or whatever. And so we kind of do still pick up those referrals from people. And even in business, we hear a lot of time where, most of our business has come from a personal friend that has referred us to somebody. So bringing Web 0.0 back into the picture, using technology to bring back the good old fashioned human interaction. And the way I explain it is I use technology to remind me to reach out and actually pick up the phone. For every Facebook post and for every mass email you picked up or you send out to market your business or try to round up a new relationship, try picking up the phone and just dialing 5 numbers and talk to 5 people and see how that works for you. See what that does for your business. So my tech hack is really like in databases, most of them have what's called action plans or campaigns. And this is really using tech at a high level, but in a very simple format. Campaigns or action plans, something along those lines where you can set up a series of events that you want to happen on a certain time frame. And in a campaign, I can set up 10 events. I can do one, I want to, remind me to do something today. 7 days later, I want it to remind me to send an email, or using technology, let that email go out automatically. And 7 days after that, I want it to remind me to drop a letter in the mail. And 7 days after that, I want it to remind me to make a phone call. And when I live in a true contact management system, and that's what I look at, a CRMs, our customer relationship, database. A lot of times people are putting customers in their database instead of just relationships for everybody, because everybody eventually at some point in time will want our product or service in their world to help them. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be so passionate about it. And I try to think of a product or service that anybody here would be listening that's involved in, that you wouldn't think that everybody could use your product or service. That's usually what we're pretty passionate about, or you need to really reach the people that do need it. So anyway, that thing will pop up every single day. And if I go into this morning, I'm going into my CRM, it's going to give me my calls for today. And this could be somebody I met 10 years ago that's now on their, I don't know, we do about 4 calls a year. So I'm on my 40th follow-up call with this person from 10 years ago. There is no way I would know that I haven't talked to that person 3 or 4 months ago. And my system will tell me it's been 3 months. Pick up the phone and call them. All the different drips that are going on. It allows me to move from the mass capture to the one-on-one relationship and bringing that human touch back in. So the last thing I'll tell you about that, why this works so much, and hopefully I've given this a good explanation, that when I meet somebody new, I put them in my contact management system. And the first thing I start is the initial relationship builder plan. I call it the brand plan. I want to brand me in their mind. I want to brand in your guys' mind that I'm Planet Brad, popcorn, right? And I want you to remember that, so that whenever you do need a product or service that I might offer, that you would remember, oh, I got to call popcorn. So what it does is I just put you into my contact management system because we connected today. So only my connections go on this, and I only do a few of these a day. I'll put that in and I'll say start the brand plan, and it dumps a series of 8 events into that contact record, and it will tell me when it's day 7 and it'll tell me when it's day 14. So it's not even ingenuine. It's using technology to remind me that I would like to make sure if I met somebody cool that I remember to call them again. And the system will say, well, guess what? It's been 4 weeks. You should call them again. And so I'm like, cool, I want to call them again. I haven't talked to them. So that's how that follow-up system works. And the reason it works so well is when we're reaching out to the masses, there is a limbic part of the human brain. The limbic part of the brain is that flight, fight or flight response that our brain has, that everything that comes into our ears, our eyes, everything comes in and it gets to the limbic part of the brain, and the brain subconsciously decides if this is something I want to pay attention to, or if I want to block it, if I want to flight from it. And the best example is you walk into a store and a salesperson walks up to you. Just imagine like a clothing store. You're going in to get a tie or a belt or something, right? For busy business people, we're usually moving 1,000 miles an hour. So you walk into the store, the person walks up, how may I help you? And right now, most of you, your response is going to be what? Just looking, right? And you're like, but you're not just looking. None of us are really just roaming around malls and popping in stores. That may date me saying mall. I don't know if malls are even around anymore. They're in Web 3.0. We just buy them online, right? But that salesperson, if that same salesperson came up to you and said, "You look like you're in a little bit of a hurry. You look like you're in a little bit of a hurry. Can I help you get out of here a little quicker?" And you're like, oh my gosh, this person's awesome. And it comes back to that old saying, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So bringing the care back in, using technology through campaigns and action plans. And if this is just even inspired you at all, it's not real hard to find me. I'm everywhere on the web. Just reach out, track me down. I'll share. I've got thousands of systems that run that in my business, when I list a house for sale, there's a series of things that have to happen, probably about 100 things that need to happen between right when we list a property until it gets sold. And that is all the stuff that happens on the front end. And then once we get a contract, there's stuff that happens. But what I found is people do not have the personal touch built into any of these. So if I list a house today and I do all my stuff behind the scenes working real hard, my client could be sitting at home going, gosh, we haven't heard from him in like 3 days, and everything's going great. Man, pictures are on, it's looking great, it's hitting thousands of websites, I'm getting all this exposure, and they're sitting there going, we haven't heard from him since he took our signature on that piece of paper. What the heck's happening, right? So adding that personal touch back into everything that you do and being on purpose about it will avoid situations having to come up to make them call you to tell you they're concerned about something, because we build that personal touch in there to where the calls coming in to go, hey, is everything okay on your side? We got everything rolling. You guys are cranking. They're like, oh no, we love it. It's all great. And now there's no problems. So anyway, that's kind of my tech hack, is to use the CRM action plans and campaigns. And hear this part: put the personal touch back into everything that you do, so that there's a pick up the phone and talk to people. There is, handwritten note, which I know I've talked about that a lot. Michelle has shared that too. And that challenge of even writing those notes, Michelle, comes to putting 5 people in and hitting the start button, and the very first thing it says is, did you send the handwritten note? So the system tells me every morning, if I didn't send that note yesterday when I added the person I wanted to send the note to, it's going to pop up in my task list today. So there's where I use technology every day to tell me what I have to do. So that's kind of I know I just took us down a really deep, detailed path, but man, I'm telling you what, it brings the human touch, the one-on-one. Web 0.0, baby, bringing it back in with all the other new technology.
Come on with it. Yes. Ooh, oh my God. What a comfort. Love, love, love. Thank you so much for going that much deep. And, you have inspired us to adopt a hybrid model and keep people in charge, connect with our customers, have that personal touch, also work smart around technology, recognizing that we are here for our customers and technology is working for us. There are so many technological apps all around the internet. We can add that, but it's all about creating a system, like a CRM system or a system overall that works for us and our customers, for our businesses. Thank you so much for that, Coach Karn. And as we are talking about this human touch and the words that we use while we're communicating digitally, it's one of the things that we gotta be very careful of. And today I'm gonna be leaving pretty soon, and I'm so glad that my sisters and everyone here in this room is here to support this room. And we were talking at the back channel. I do have a funeral to attend, and I'm going to be taking my mom with. So I'm very sorry that I'm going to be leaving very soon. But the room is going amazing. It's on fire. So many things to learn and grow. With that said, before I leave, I want to hand the lead mode to Amanda. Amanda, would you be kind to take the lead over?